Right, everybody. Manchester United obviously play Paok. It was a big game for Manchester United as we haven't won in the Europa League with 3 draws from 3 games. Ultimately, this is an opportunity for United to improve that goal difference and ultimately get a win. Now, 3 things to expect. Let's get straight into it. The first thing to expect, I expect Ruud to make changes. Now, obviously, it's one of Ruud's final games for Manchester United. It's an opportunity for him, another big one. Obviously, he's going to cherish the moment. It's another game at home for Manchester United. But again, it's a game where I think Ruud Van Nistelrooy must make changes. I think to that team that played against Chelsea, there's players returning. There's players that I think should drop out anyway. And there's 3 rotations that I would actually make anyway. If you look at that game against Chelsea, I think there were some players who performed well. Some players who didn't perform so well. And on that case, deserve to be dropped. I'm going to quickly run through my predicted 11 and give you my team. So I think for me, it should be Onana in goal. I think Onana's obviously, he was in the press conference. He's likely going to start. The back 4 now. Listen, in the preview, I think I said Harry and Mass at left back. Now, he's not going to get any minutes from the start. We believed he could get minutes from the bench. He started. Well, he played definitely in the game yesterday against for the under 21. So it'd be unlikely that he does start this game. So I think he'll go with Johnny Evans, Lindelof, and they put Martinez at left back, and one of Delo and Mazraoui. Not really bothered to. I would give Delo a rest, and I'd put Mazraoui there. I think he was great against Chelsea. That's what I think he'll go for. In midfield, now obviously Eriksen's returning. Ugarte obviously didn't have the greatest games, but wasn't bad against Chelsea. I think Ugarte may come out and you could see Eriksen drop back into that team. Now, reports are suggesting that Kobbie Mainoo could be back in Manchester United's team for the game on Sunday against Leicester. So that could be a huge boost. But in this game, listen, reports suggesting that Eriksen is returning. Mason Mount is returning, so you could see minutes for them. Whether they are fully fit to go straight, what we are hearing, they won't be going straight back into that Manchester United team, but they definitely are great options to have off the bench. Their players who obviously haven't been in the team for a long time, and our bench hasn't been looking great. So they would provide an option. I think Anthony's back in training as well. So that would be the defensive midfield. Obviously, Bruno will be in that number 10 role. Now, the front 3 for me is very, very obvious who you take out. Ultimately, will Anthony start? Probably not. There is an opportunity that he will, but I don't think Ruud will start him. It'd be interesting to see what happened with Anthony under Amorim. But I think it should be Rashford, Ahmad, and either Højlund or Xerxes, whichever you want to do up front. But the important thing is that based on performance and based on merit, Amad Diallo should be replacing either one of Garnacho and Rashford. And based on their last performance, listen, I would love to replace both of them, but I don't think Anthony is good enough and I don't think he'll start. But I think it should be Garnacho out for Amad. You put Rashford back on his comfortable position on the left, and you put Amad on the right. And I think Amad is our best right winger, so why not stick him in the team? Now, I think the issue with Ruud is you have Rashford, you have Garnacho, 2 very, very good players. But he's trying to fit both of them into the team. You've got to let them battle it out for that left wing position, in my opinion, anyway. I think maybe some games you want to see Garnacho on the right, you want to see Rashford on the right. But you have to understand their both best position is on the left, and ultimately that's where you're going to get the best out of them. But I would definitely drop Garnacho. I don't think his attitude, don't think his decision-making was good enough against Chelsea. And that's what, listen, players should be, when they have good performances, they should be rewarded. When they don't have some good performances, to drop them out for a game, then it allows them to work hard and get them back into the team. In previous times, we haven't had anyone else. So when Garnacho, Rashford are having poor performances, we just have to keep playing them into form. In this case, we do have Amad Diallo. And obviously, Rashford, listen, he wasn't great against Chelsea either, but you want to see Rashford in that team for me. And he did have a better performance than Garnacho. So yeah, that would be the changes I think Ruud should make. Now, the second thing to expect is goals. Yes, United haven't we've scored, what, 6 in the Europa League, I think. 3, 1, 8, 3, 1. No, 4. 5 goals in the Europa League, but we've also conceded 5. Now, the issue is for Manchester United. I do expect there will be goals. Paok, a team who haven't done great in the Europa League. They're lower. I think they're 30th in the league. They've got 2 draws and 1 loss, I think, or something like that. they're a team who are struggling, and it's a game that United should take advantage of. You look at some of the players we have, this could really help this confidence. You look at Rashford maybe getting a few goals, Garnacho, Xerxes, Højlund, Bruno, Eric, like all these sorts of players getting goals, and Ahmad boosting their confidence, and that's ultimately what it should be about. Then United will create chances, we will or try to convert them. We have got one of the highest, like we're underperforming our XG, so that's something that we must try and do. But yeah, ultimately that's that. I think it'd be very interesting to see what happens. Now, the third and final thing, Paok, I'm just going to label it. I want to talk about Paok. Listen, they're a team who are struggling down in the Europa League. But again, we must not underestimate any opponent. They're doing well in the Greek League. And yes, that's nothing compared to the Premier League. But obviously, they've got an ex-Manchester United Academy player in Shola Shaw, Tyre. They have got decent players who can cause issues. I think they've got Dejan Lovren, Johnny, who's played obviously at Wolves. They have got decent players, and we must be careful of them. Yes, we don't know much about them. We haven't studied them, and they're not a team that we come across a lot. But again, we must be very, very careful with the threat that they can offer. But listen, let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe if you are new. And peace.